Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So here I'll be doing a complete breakthrough and a workthrough of the entire IGCSE Maths A paper 3H. And this is from the January 2017 paper. Okay, so without further ado, let's go, yeah? So this is of course a calculator test. We have 2 hours. I'm hoping we can try and break it down in an hour and a half if possible. And yes, one thing to know is that we always are given the formulas. At least in this case, we're given Pythagoras' theorem and trigonometry, which is quite easy, we should know. We're given the volume of a cone, the curved surface area, where L is the hypotenuse. So again, we use Pythagoras' theorem here to work out the L for this equation. We're given sphere equations, triangle equations. We're even given volume of a prism, which is the area of this shape of the 2D part times its multiple lengths, trapezium and cylinders, and of course the classic quadratic formula. So without further ado, let's kick it in. Okay, number 1, let's have a go. So the average speed for an aeroplane flight from Dubai to London is 750 kilometers per hour. So we're working in kilometers per hour. The flight time from Dubai to London is 7 hours and 18 minutes. Okay, so first thing, so before we answer the question, we need to, because we're working hours, we need to convert the minutes to hours. So we could say that firstly the speed here we know is exactly 750 kilometers per hour. And then we also say that the time t is going to be 7 plus 18 over 60 hours. So what this means, 18 over 60, is that because we have 60 minutes an hour, we're taking 18 parts of it. And if you put this in the calculator, you should get exactly 7.3 hours, okay? Now, A, work out the flight distance from Dubai to London. Well, we know that the general formula is always going to be speed equals distance over time. And in this case, we're trying to find distance, so we should multiply t across. So we're going to have speed times t would equal distance. Okay, we know that the speed is 750 kilometers. The time is 7.3 hours. Smash this in your calculator, and you should get exactly 5,475 kilometers. Sweet, easy. Okay, quite far as well. Now B, change 750 kilometers per hour to a speed in meters per second. Give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. Okay, so to change the meters per second, let's just rewrite it. So we got 750 kilometers per hour. Okay, all you have to do really in this case, so we're doing it per second, so we just convert 1 hour into a minute, into seconds, and kilometers into meters. So we need to record that 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, whereas 1 hour also equals 60 minutes and also equals 60 times 60 seconds, so 60 squared seconds. Okay, now what does this mean? So therefore we just replace the values. Replace kilometer with 1,000, so therefore we're going to have 750 times by 1,000 over an hour, which is 60 squared, so 60 squared seconds. And of course this is meters, so therefore literally just put that in calculator. Put 750 times 1,000, which will give us some value, and then divide that by 60 squared. Just do all at once actually, guys, and you should get to the nearest whole number, yeah? So you should get approximately 208 meters per second. Now if you think about it, that is pretty damn fast. 208 meters per second. Man, Usain Bolt won't even get that. That's really quick. Wow. Okay, that's it, guys. That's the answer. So it's 208. Okay, question 2. So 3 integers have a mean of 7, a median of 5, and a range of 14. Find the 3 integers. So let's suppose we give these integers a name, yeah? Let's say for the mean, firstly, for the mean, we can say that let x, y, and z be integers. So we can say that if we added x, y, and z and divided it by 3, we should get a mean of 7. So this is an equal sign. So therefore, times in by 3, then we have x plus y plus z must equal 7 times 3, which is 21. So that's the first equation. The second statement now, so that's the mean done. For the median, what do we have? So the median means that the middle value would be 5. So we can say instantly that y must be equal to 5. So therefore, if y equals 5, what happens to our new equation? That means x plus z. So if we subtracted 5 from this equation, x plus z must be 16. Makes sense? And the final statement, a range of 14. This means that the difference, z take away x, must be 14. Okay, not bad. So what we could do, we can actually substitute this in. We can make, let's say, x a subject. Let's make z a subject for the second equation, yeah? If we added x across, we're going to have z equals 14 plus x. Plus x. God, this pen is terrible. So if we plug this value for z into this equation, this will tell us that we have now x plus 14 plus x must equal 16. Okay? Therefore, if you total this up, if we subtract 14 across, we're going to have an added x, we're going to have 2x plus 14 equals 16, or 2x equals 2. So x must be 1. So this means x must be 1. And x must be 1 with a range of 14, z must be clearly 15. That's it. And here's our value. Z equals 15, x equals 1, and y equals 5. Not bad. Definitely a bit tricky. Now, 3. Show that this fraction, when subtracted, will equal to this side. Okay, so when you subtract fractions, we always have to remember that we need common denominators. And let's just look at the fractions for now. So with 3 and 5, we know that the lowest common multiple for both will be 15. So we need to make them both have a denominator of 15. To do that, we multiply the first lot by 5, and we multiply the second fraction by 3. So this means now we're going to have the whole number 5 with a fraction. So multiply up and down by 5, we're going to have 10 over 15, guys, minus the whole 3. And the second fraction, we multiply by 3, we're going to have 12 over 15. Now we just tie this up. And, well, there's one way we could do this. Because this number is lower than this one, you're going to get an odd negative value. So what I would do is I'll make this into an improper fraction first, yeah? So the quick trick to do is to multiply the whole number by the denominator and then add it to the top. So 5 times 15 is 75. Add 10 will give us 85 over 15. Minus, and 3 times 15 is 45. 45 add 12 is 57. You can check this on the calculator anyway, so that's cool. And now just subtract these guys. So 85 take away 57 should give us 28. And that's it. So something tells me 28 seems like a good value. And now we ask ourselves, how many times is 15 going to 28? Well, it goes exactly once and has a remainder of 13 over 15. And that's it. We have proved it. Okay. So we're given a shape. So let me zoom out a bit because it seems quite big, isn't it? Okay, hold on. Where's the zoom out button here? Okay, well, don't worry. So we're given a shape by this dimension, 15, 15, 15. And what does it say down here? It says that the diagram shows a design made from wire. The design is made from a square with a side of 70 centimeters. So this whole shape is a square, so 70 around. The circle with a diameter of 40 centimeters. So this means the line across here is 40, so we can even add that in. So the line across here should be 40, meaning that the radius would be 20 and 20. So we can just say R equals 20, just in case we need it. And 4 straight pieces with each length 15. Great, we got that. Find the total length of wire needed for the design. Give your answer correct to the nearest centimeter. Easy, so all we have to do, so let's have a look. Is everything made of a wire here? Yep, so even the long lengths. So we can say that firstly, the total length around would be 70, 70, 70, so that's 70 times 4. I'll just write it here. We also know that we got 4 lots of 15, so 15 times 4 we add up as well. And lastly, we have the circumference of a circle. So the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. And we know that the radius is 2, so the full equation would be, so from 2 pi r, this should equal 2 times, wait, the radius isn't 20, 2 is 20 here. So we know the full equation would be 2 times pi times 20, so it would be 40 pi. Yeah, and that's it. Now we just total these up, right? Is that correct? We do it to the nearest centimeter. So in your calculator, pretty much just smash this out. So we got 70 times 4 plus 15 times 4 plus 40 pi. And if you do that in the calculator, you should get an answer approximately, if you round to the nearest centimeter, you should get 466. So let me write down here. So our answer should be 466. Not bad. Quite easy actually. Okay, question 5. Factorize that expression. Okay, so they both have h in common, so you take it outside the factor, so and you're left with 7 plus h. Cool. Expand and simplify this expression. So here we just distribute the 4 across and distribute the 7 across for the second term. So 4 times these will give you 4p plus 20. 7 times these guys will give you 7p minus 14. Now collecting terms, 4p plus 7p is 11p. 20 take away 4 is 6, so it'll be plus 6. Next one. So d equals 7c squared plus f. Work out the value of d when c is negative 2 and f is positive 5. So all you want to do really, copy the equation and replace carefully the correct value. So replace the bracket with minus 2 squared plus, and f is now 5. You could do this in your calculator, do this mentally. Minus 2 squared will give you a positive 4. 7 times 4 is 28 plus 5. So if we get equal sign, will give us 33. Alright, D, solve this equation. Show clear algebraic working. So you can't just smash this in your calculator, guys. So to solve this, firstly expand the first set of brackets so you can get 5q minus 15, and copy the rest. Now, what we do is add q, so this negativity disappears. So adding q will give us 6q here. We just copy the rest. Now plusing 15 across to get rid of negative 15, we're going to be left with 6q equals 12 plus 17, which is 27. And lastly, just divide divide 6 across, so you're left with q equals 27 over 6. And do we need to simplify? Yeah, I guess so. We can simplify 27 divided by 6. You should get 9 over 2. So 9 over 2 is an equal sign. Okay. Solve the inequality. This is that easy. Just treat the inequality like an equal sign. Yeah. So just pretend this is like an equal sign. So we've got 3 minus 70 greater than equal 31. So what I want to do is plus 70 across, and that would just make it easier. So we're going to have, and subtract 31, so we're going to have minus 28 here, greater equal than 70. Divide 7 across, you're going to have minus 4 greater equal than t. In other words, t is less than or equal than minus 4. Remember, the less than equal sign is on the t. So then we can just say t less than equal negative 4. Well done, guys. Well done. Okay, question 6. So the table gives information about the distances in kilometers Darren traveled to deliver 100 parcels. Good job, guys. Good job, Darren. So distance traveled in D is given by the following. And then this is the frequency telling you how many parcels were delivered between the distance traveled between 0 and 5, 32 delivered between 5 and 10, and so on. So to work out the estimate for the mean, we need to do a couple tricks here. The first things first, we need to find out exactly how many was delivered in that time. And the first thing you want to do is to actually work out something known as you need the midpoint, and you need to multiply against the frequency. So we need fx. We need the total fx over 100 to find out the mean. The total fx means that we need to do 28 times the midpoint of d. So the midpoint of the first range will be, the trick to do is add these numbers and half it. So between it is 2.5. So before I do this, actually, let me just write the midpoint. It'll be easier. So let's do the midpoint first. Yeah, let's call this one x for midpoint. Yeah, and fx we multiply. So the midpoint across will be 2.5, 7.5 here, 12.5 here, 17.5, and 22.5. Okay. Oh, this is going to be awful to multiply. Okay, so let's have a go. So in your calculator, multiply each term by the respective values. So if you multiply, you should get 70 here. So I'm gonna just quickly pause this and do the answers right now. Okay, and this is the answers I got, yeah? Again, I just multiplied across, so f times x will give you each of these values. And therefore, the mean would be the total of these guys. So add up every single value, add up the totals. So the mean is the total fx over the number of parcels, which is of course 100. And once you put in the calculator, you should get the following. So just bear with me, guys. I'm also calculating this because I'm doing it from scratch. 250 plus 245 plus 135 over 100, and you should get a mean. You should get a mean distance of 9.4 kilometers. Okay, so it's somewhere around here. Makes sense because that's the mostly distributed one. And that's it. Thank God. Number 7. Rachel, Mario, and Sanjit share some money in the following ratios. So Rachel gets 4 parts, Mario gets 3 parts, and Sanjit gets 9. Mario received 96, that lucky guy. Work out the difference between the amount received by Rachel and the amount received by Sanjit. Otherwise, find all the ratios and subtract the differences. So if we copy this ratio out carefully, and then just place the name. So Rachel is here. So this is 9 here. Rachel's there, Mario's there, and Sanjit is here. God, this is awful handwriting. And we know that Mario will get £96. Let's work out the proportion, how many times he multiplied to get to 96. So if you did 96 divided by 3, we can see that everything multiplied by 32, at least on my calculator. So multiply 4 by 32, Rachel's ratio and Sanjit's ratio by 32. And what should you guys get? So Rachel should get £128, and Sanjit should get, times by 32, £288. And that's it. And therefore, you just want to find the difference between these two guys. So in your calculator, subtract them both, or just check, and you find out the answer is 160. Good. All right, number 8. So on the grid, draw the graph of y equals minus 2x plus 4 for the following values of x. Okay, all right, not bad. So this is quite easy. One thing you have to know that this is actually a linear graph. So with linear graphs, you just need to plot 2 points and draw a straight line because you're expected to get a straight line. So what I will do is substitute the first value and the final value into this equation. So let's say when x equals negative 1, what do we get? We get y equals minus 2 times negative 1 plus 4. Minus 2 times minus 1 is plus 2. Add that to 4, you get 6. So the first coordinate would be minus 1, 6. Now when x equals positive 5, we should get the following. We should get y equals minus 2 times 5 plus 4. Minus 2 times 5 is minus 10. Add 4, you should get minus 6. So here's our last coordinate, minus 6. So let's plot this out, yeah? So starting from minus 1, we start at 6. So we know that the gradient is decreasing because it's negative 2, so it's decreasing. And the last one would be 5 minus 6, so down here somewhere. Okay, so I kind of need to, zoom out a bit here. So let me have a look over here. So let me pick a straight line. Where's the zoom out button here? Oh, there you are. Okay, perfect. So just draw a straight line between these guys. So a straight line from here. No. It's quite difficult sometimes on this. Really? Alright, maybe I should just... Okay. Yeah. Finally, okay, yeah, and that's it, guys. That should be equation. So it cuts at 2. Okay, looks legit. That's it. That's all I really wanted to do. Okay, part B. So show by shading on the grid the region defined by all 3 of the inequalities. Oh, so this one's a bit tricky. So we have firstly y less than or equal to minus 2x plus 4. So this means that we need to see where the region lies. So let's see which statement is true. Y less than or equal to minus 2x plus 4. So that's this line we just drew. So what I always do is I just plug a coordinate and see this is true or false. So let's say, let's pick the origin. I always pick the origin as all my examples. Okay, so at 0, 0, what do we have here? So we have we're saying that 0 is less than or equal to minus 2 times 0, which is 0 plus 4. So 0 is less than or equal to 4. So this is true. So basically, this is saying that this side of the region is true. So less than or equal means we're keeping this part. Okay, so we're going to cross out the other side. So this part we're not interested in, okay, because that doesn't satisfy the inequality. Okay, so we just cross this out. Oopsie. Next one. Y greater equal minus 4. So where's minus 4? So it's over here. Y is minus 4. We draw a straight line there. Let me just draw another straight line. Okay. And we're only interested at the top above it. So we're going to cross out the region below. And lastly, x greater equal 1. So that's over here. So draw another straight line. God, why is it so hard on this? Straight. Let's say from here. Okay, and we only keep it when we keep the greater equal. So we only care about when it's greater, so above it. That means we must get rid of the range behind it, which is here. And that's it. So our final range is, of course, this box here. If you see carefully, this triangle. Hopefully, it doesn't want us to find the area of this triangle next. So this would be our region of interest. Okay. Okay, label R. Okay, cool. That's done. Okay, so number 9. So back to some more algebra, which I love. Simplify the following, expression. So this is a quadratic, isn't it? Give your answer in this form, in a quadratic form. Okay, guys, so good luck with this. Let's have a go. Let's expand the square bracket. So the square bracket indicates that we're dealing with 2x plus 3 and 2x plus 3 again. So we have this. Plus 3 times 2x plus 3. And then once we work that out, we're going to minus it against 2x plus 3 times x minus 5. I'm going to expand this conveniently quick here. So using FOIL, we're going to do 2x times 2x will give us 4x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. 3 times 2x is another 6x, meaning we have 12x. 3 times 3 is 9. So that's the first set done. Minus, let's do the second set. I'm keeping a bracket because we need to multiply everything by a negative sign in the end for the second. So anyway, doing a FOIL on this one, we go 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times minus 5 is minus 10x times 3 plus 3 plus times x is 3x. So we go minus 10x and 3x. Minus 10 plus 3 is minus 7x. 3 times negative 5 is minus 15. And okay, so now let's open this all up. So we're going to have 4x squared minus 2x squared will give us 2x squared. 12x minus 7x means plus 7x. So 12x plus 7x will give us plus 19x. 9 take away negative 15. 9 plus 15 will give us plus 24. So our values A, B, and C is this. 10. In a sale, normal prices are reduced by 18%. The sale price on umbrella was this value. Work out its normal price. This is easy. We always start like this. So we always consider this the very simple formula, which is the old value, which always either increases or decreases by a fixed rate, and this will give us the new value. This is how systems work. So we know firstly that it reduced by 18%, meaning the R was minus 18. So we're going to have 1 minus 18%, and this should give us a new value of 25.83. So we need to work out the normal price, so we need to work out the old value. Let's call it x. Therefore, rearranging this, dividing this quantity across, we're going to have x equals 25.83 over 1 minus 18%. You could do this exactly in the calculator, and you can even use a percent button as well. So putting this in the calculator, you should get 1 minus 18% should give you £31.50. So it says 31.5, but we always add an extra 0, so £31.50. Okay, question 11. So this looks like cumulative frequency problems. So the frequency table gives information about the lengths of time 100 people spend in a coffee shop. Okay, so we know that the total frequency is of course 100. Cool. Complete the cumulative frequency table. Okay, so first things, I need to drop the size of this. Minimize. Okay, so all we have to do really is sum this across. So from 0 to 20, we had exactly 4 people. So from 0 to 40, so we're accumulating from 0 to 40, so we're accumulating these two numbers. So 4 and 12 makes 16. The next one, 0 to 60, means we're accumulating these 3 figures. So I shouldn't put a circle there. So adding 26 to the previous one should give us 42, I believe. Up to 80, we need to add another 42, so this would be 84. Adding 12 will give us 96, and adding 4, 100. Okay, good. As long as your answer totals 100, you know you did it okay. So let me zoom back in. Yep, so sum is 100. Now we have to plot this. Yep, estimate. Okay, so in this question, we need to draw a cumulative frequency graph. Okay. Again, let me zoom back out, so we're going to take our time with this. So first things first, what do we have? So we need to put some coordinates down here. So the way it works, you're always going to choose the y value for cumulative frequency, and x value being its upper bound, which is 20. So that's what it says. By 20 minutes, there was a total of 4 people. So we can say 20 minutes, total of 4 people. By 40 minutes, total of 16, and so on, yeah? An initial point by... initial point is obviously 0, 0. 0, there was nobody. At time 0, there was no one. Okay, so let's try this one. So 0, 0, that's 1 over here. Thankfully, it's gone up in 20, so it's easy. So let me just quickly have a look. So we got 20, 40, 60, so we got 4, 16, 42. So 4 should be, so gone up in 20s. God, let me zoom in a bit more actually. So make sure you do this carefully, guys, yeah? So this mark means 10. That means each block is going up in 2. So 2, 4 is here. So this is 4. I have to keep doing this. 16, 42, 84. Okay, 16 and 42. Next one is 16, which is here. So just 2 blocks down from 20. 42 is here. Scrolling up. 84 and 96. So 84 for the next row. 84. 80 is here. 2, 84. 96 is just before 100, isn't it? No, 2 blocks before 100, so it should be here. And lastly, at what by 120 we should have everybody. So that means you're over here. Cool. And one thing you have to do for the cumulative frequency, you have to do a smooth curve. So I'm just gonna change the color of my pen to orange or something. No, orange is ugly. Who cares? Try and draw a smooth curve. Okay. Yeah, not so bad, not so bad. Have a go at it, guys, and see how you do, yeah? So back to, I'll choose blue this time. Okay, use your graph to find estimate for the lower quartile. Okay, so lower quartile, so with quartiles and medians, we just have to consider the percentage of each group of people. So by 100, we have 100%. 50th person will be the median, so the first quartile will be 25, the 25th person. And again, I have to zoom in for this one. Okay, zoom in. So this is 30, so 25th is around here. So I need to get a straight edge. Line. So draw a line across about here. And what value is this? So if we look down carefully, this is about here. So that's 40, so 50, so that's 48. Okay, so that's 48 minutes. Part D. So use your graph to find an estimate for the number of these people who spent longer than 70 minutes in a coffee shop. So this literally means that we need to draw a line from 70 up until it hits a curve and see how many people are left from that point. Okay, so let me just zoom out again. So zooming out, draw a straight line. So shapes, line, 70, 70. So 70 is about here. I'll say about here, isn't it? You say, yep. I think the curve should have been a bit higher actually. I feel like it should have actually hit this figure here. But anyway, that's the 70th mark here. So that's the 70th mark. Let me draw that in. So this means this total range of people represents exactly 30 because the difference here is 30. So yeah, I would say about 30 people spend longer than 70 minutes in a coffee shop. Yeah, sounds good to me. Okay, zoom out, so I just don't want to ruin this up. Zoom down. Okay, number 12. So we're given a shape, so we've got some circle theorem problems. And we can see that A, B, C, and D are points on a circle with center O. Okay, calculate size angle X. Okay, so this is an easy formula. So we need to know that the angle at the circumference is always going to be half the value of the angle at the center of the circle. So this X is double that 48. So X equals 2 times 48, which is 96 degrees. Okay, that goes that answer. Give a reason. So let me write this in words, it'll be a lot easier. So my reason would be, so the angle, okay, I'll write it differently. The angle at the center of the circle is twice the angle at the circumference of the circle. Okay, so this is obviously American English, or I'm not sure which one, so it should be ER. No, it's RE. Spell checks. So yeah, that should be something like that at B, at the circumference circle at B. Okay. Calculate the size of angle ADC. So angle ADC is here, isn't it? So this one is also known as a cyclic quadrilateral, yeah? So I'm guessing it's going to ask for a reason, yeah? So I'll get to that in a second, actually. So this angle here, let's call it Y, yeah? So we can say firstly that 48 plus Y must equal 180. 48 plus Y must equal 180. So therefore, subtracting the two values gives us 132. Does that fit? Yep. So remember cyclic, yeah? I'll write the answer down, so give a reason. So for cyclic quadrilateral, all 4 points must be touching the outer circle. Let's say circle. Therefore, hence, both points at so 180 degrees. So both points at each one's opposite. So is that correct? So i.e. D and B. B and D, or A and C. Keep it simple like that. And that's it. That should give you all the marks, I believe. You should get all the marks. So as long as you mention cyclic quadrilateral and sums up to 180, you're fine. Number 13. Okay, this one looks dead easy. I think I already know the answer. So Mika invests $4,000 for 3 years at 2.75% per year compound interest. Okay, made it clear there. Work out the value of the investment at the end of 3 years. So just like the percentage one, it's going to be the original value times the multiply, which is 1 plus minus r, depending if it's increasing, decreasing, and it'll equal the new value. And the difference with this one, there's going to be a time variable here, t, which represents the number of years or periods. So we have all the details. We have the initial investment, which is 4,000. We have an increment of 2.75%, so 1 plus 2.75%. and it's all raised to 3 years because it's done in arrears. Now, just putting this in your calculators, what do you get? So 4,000 times 1 plus 2.75%. So 2.75%. So I'm also working this out. Power 3 should give us, so, and then one answer, of course, in dollars, so it'll be 4,000, so right here, actually right here, 4,339.16. And this should be, of course, dollars. All right, easy. I like these easy questions. So T, 14 I mean. T is directly proportional to root x. So this means T is directly proportional to the square root of x. T is 400 when x is 625. Find the formula for T in terms of x. So firstly, this proportional sign, this alpha sign, means equals k, which means equals a scale factor. So T is a scale T equals scale factor of root x. Now, when we plug in these values, all we're going to have is this. So the new equation is T equals k times root x. So when T is 400, then root x would be the square root of 625. Therefore, the value of k is, so you can find k when you divide by root 625. So k equals 400 over root 625. So put down your calculator, what do we get? So you get 400 over square root of 625. Oh, you get 16. Nice simple one. So you get 16. I think this answer was 25 probably, I'm guessing. So k is 16. So therefore, you want to find a formula of t in terms of x. So this means you only want t and x in the equation. So you want to replace a k with a figure. Because since k is 16, we can say that the formula is therefore t equals 16 root x. Coolio. All right, B. Calculate the value of it. This is easy. Just plug this in. So t equals. Oh God, no. Okay, you know what? Just replace. Okay, you know, I'll just do it since we're here. Equals 16 times the square root of this figure inside. So what does that give us? So 16 root 56.25. Oh, you get 120. I wonder what that is again. So divide by 16, you get some exact answer. Okay, easy guys. Okay, number 15. So we're given a triangle. So this looks like a cosine problem, maybe. Calculate the perimeter of the triangle. Okay, so perimeter means we need to find everything, the lengths. And to find the lengths, we need to find this unknown length. And carefully, this is definitely a cosine problem. You have 3 lengths and an angle. So just to recall, the cosine is this. The formula tells us it's going to be a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cosine of a, where a is an angle, which will be here, and the little a will be the length opposite the capital A angle, which is here. So a would be x in this case. You can write a equals x. B and C will be the other length, so that's not really a big deal. So therefore, since a is x, we can say x squared equals b squared, which is 14 squared, plus 17 squared, minus 2 times 14 times 17 times the cosine of 123. And that's it. Now put this all in your calculator and see what you get. So you get 14 squared, 17 squared, minus 2 times 14 times 17, cos 123, please in degree mode. So you should get x squared being 744. Remember to square root the value of the answer. So you get x equals the square root of what you did in the calculator, which is, so what, 1 decimal place, 27.3 centimeters. Yep, that's it. Easy problem, very easy, standard. And you get so much space to do it, you can just do it in 3 lines. Okay, 16. The diagram shows 2 mathematically similar pots. So A is mathematically similar to B. A has a volume of 264, B has a volume of 891. A has a height of 8. Work out the height of pot B. So first we need some relationship formulas. We can say firstly that A is proportional to B in terms of height, and A is proportional to B in terms of cube. So what this means, the first equation, we can say that A equals some scale factor of B. So this is a linear relationship because it's one length. And then the second one, the volume would be A equals K cube because it's a volume of B. So this is a cubic relationship. So what do we have? So we know that the value of A here, the volume is 264 and the volume for B is 891. So 264 equals K cubed times 891. So now I should just do a bracket. So therefore, just work out K. So K cubed would be 264 over 891, and then you just cube root. So the cube root of 264 over 891 should be 2/3. So we can find out K equals 2/3. So that's a scale factor. Now we plug this in back into the first equation, so the linear relationship, and we can say that since A has a height of 8, K is 2/3, so we're using this equation here, guys. So therefore, and we want to find the value of B. So to find value B, just times 8 by 3 and divide it by 2. So you should have something like 12. So the length of B is 12. And that's it, 12 centimeters. Okay, so B has a surface area of 459, so same thing applies here. So we can say that A is proportional in terms of areas, which we put 2, to B. So this is the quadratic relationship. So that means the relationship is now going to be A equals, instead of K cubed, which is volume, would be K squared B. So we know what the surface area B is 459. K is, where is K? K is 2/3. So it's just going to be A equals 2/3 squared times 459. Put that in your calculator. 2/3 squared times 459. So it's 204. Okay, not bad. So should be like this, shouldn't it? 204. Okay, 17. So now we need to solve this equation, this quadratic equation. And well, it doesn't say much about it, so I'm guessing we just have to apply the formula. So it's quite easy. So the quadratic formula should be at the top of the page. So I'm not going to go there, but it is there. And just a reminder, the formula is this. It's x equals minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. And just know what the values are. Remember, 5x squared. So these figures here represent a, b, c respectively. So a here is a 5, b here is an 8, so looking at the equation, and c is a negative 23. So just plug it back in. So what do you get? So you should write minus 8 plus minus. So remember, the plus minus is important. 8 squared, which is 64, minus 4 times 5 times minus 23. Very careful, make sure you put the minus sign here. All over 2 times 5, which is 10. Okay, so take your time. So you should get two solutions. I, of course, need to write this down. So it would be minus 8 plus square root of 8 squared. 4 times 5 times minus 23 over 10. Okay, so my first solution, I use the plus version first. The freestanding figures, I got 1.49, and then if I put a minus sign, my x value was minus 3.09, so minus 3.09. Cool. Okay, so it should be something like that. It's easy, so I could mess this up potentially, but double check yourselves as well. 18. The curve of equation, this or another quadratic, has a minimum point at A. Okay, so when you draw an imaginary curve, this is the minimum coordinate here. Find the coordinates at A. Show you're working clearly. So the cool thing is that to find the minimum, you could really differentiate to find the so-called turning point. So remember, this is a turning point. and differentiation lets us have that. Okay, that's one way to do it. So let's have a go. So let's do it. So dy over dx. Differentiate this equation, we should get 20x. So you drop the power down and multiply it, plus 9. Okay, so this is the derivative. And the turning point occurs when you solve this equation, when the gradient is flat. So remember, the gradient needs to be flat. So this means that m must be 0, or dy over dx is 0. Okay, if that's the case, so letting dy dx equals 0, we're going to have 0 equals 20x plus 9. Solving this, subtracting 9 and dividing by 20, x should be minus 9 over 20. So that's one coordinate. And now all we have to do is plug this in back into the curve equation to find the y coordinate. That will give us our turning point, or our minimum point. So plugging this back into the original, you should get something like y equals 10 bracket minus 9 over 20 squared plus 9 times minus 9 over 20 plus 5. Whoa, relax. Plus 5. Okay, so put that in your calculator, guys. So you get 10 times. God, this is gonna take a while. Let me just pause this one and do it a second. Okay, so I got a solution here. So I got 2.975. Oh, I don't know where the shapes are coming from. 2.975. And just to make this x thing more exponent clearly, minus 9 over 20 should be minus 0.45. 0.45. And that's it. So that should be our coordinates. So our coordinates are therefore going to be minus 0.45 and 2.975. I recommend that you pause this and look at this question again, because this is quite a challenging one. The whole thing you need to spot is that you want to just draw a rough sketch like this, and outside the minimum point is at the bottom, which is also known as the turning point, which can be found by differentiation. Okay, moving on. So number 19. So make E the subject of this equation. Okay, easy. Let's have a go. Not easy, but good enough. So first things first, the rule is to get rid of the square root. To do that, we need to square both sides. So we're going to have k squared equals, and then copy the rest, 5m plus 2e over 3e. Next step, get rid of the fraction. So multiply 3e across. So you're going to have 3e times k squared equals 5m plus 2e. Okay, next step. Now you want to put all the e's on one side and leave the non-e's that ain't stuck to it on the other side. So let's put it here. So here we go, subtract 2e across. So we're going to have now 3e k squared minus 2e equals 5m. So I just subtracted 2e from this equation, so this eliminates and goes right here. Now, this is where things get tricky. So here you have to acknowledge that because you got e's in both parts, to isolate the e, we need to factorize e outside. So we're going to have something like 3k squared minus 2 in the inside, and this equals 5m. And lastly, to get rid of this part, we just divide it across. So e would equal 5m over 3k squared negative 2. That's it. So yeah, just pause this and have a look at this one as well again. This is good practice for your algebra. Okay, so we're given 3 values of x, y, and z correct to 1, 3, oh, this is all different. 1 significant figure, 3 significant figures, and 1 decimal place. Calculate the upper bound of this quantity. Show you working out clearly. Okay, so to find upper bound, whenever we multiply x by this entire quantity, we need to find absolute maximum values of both of them, yeah? To do that, we just need the upper bound for x, which is easy. For y minus z, we want to find the biggest range. So this means we need to find an upper for y and a lower for z, because it gives the biggest range, which will give you the biggest multiplier. So to summarize, we want x to be upper bound, y to be upper bound, and z to be lower bound. But why is it doing that? To be lower bound. Okay. Now let's find the appropriate figure. So this is correct to one significant figure. So it's probably, so this is going to be either 2.5 or 3.5. So therefore the upper bound is 3.5. Let me make it clear, guys. 3.5. For y is to create the three significant figures, so we got fourth number, so an upper bound would be 8.375. So remember, it's extra fifth. So 8. Yeah, I think I'm just getting a bit tired because there's so many questions. 8.375, and this is to create a 1 dp. Okay, so same thing. It's pretty much two significant figures, and now we want to find the lower bound. So this would be 5. So it'll be 2.5 or 3.5, so it'll be 2.5 here. And that's it. Now we just plug in all these values. So we've got x is 3.5, y is this value, and z is that. So we can say that this equation becomes 3.5 times y is this number, 375, minus z is 5.25. That's it. Oh yeah, we should work this out, shouldn't I? Anyway, you can put that in a calculator. Let's move on. Okay, question 21. So the Venn diagram shows a universal set epsilon, I think it's epsilon, I'm never too sure really, and sets A, B, and C, where 6, 3, 7, 5, 2, 9, 4, and 8 represent numbers of elements. So we have in total 8, I think. Okay. So here's our triple Venn. You got A, B, and C, and you got 4 outside the 3 Venns. Find the number of elements that are not inside the union of A and B. So not inside all of A and all of B. So numbers that are not inside any of these are 4 and 8. So it's 4 and 8. So I'll just write it over here. 4 and 8. Find the number of elements that are not in A and C that intersect with B. So not in A and C. So not in A and C are pretty much the 7 here and the 4. And that intersect with B, well, only 7 intersects with B. And so the answer is 7. On the Venn diagram, shade the region that represents the union of A and B intersecting with C. So the union of A and B, which is all of these guys, intersecting with C. So 5, 2, 9 are in A and B, and intersect with C. So we should just shade this region. So it'll be this, this, and this. And that's it. Very easy. So 22. Okay, the diagram shows a sector OAB of a circle of center O. Okay, so this is a sector equation. You got angle 75, length of arc 7.2. Calculate area of a sector. Oh god, this is very easy. So give your answer correct to 3 different figures. Okay, so to find the area of a sector, okay, so we need to of course know the radius here. All it is this. And you got the length of an arc, so we need to use the circumference formula somehow. So the area of sector is always a fraction of the circle. In this case is 75 over 360. And we need to multiply this by pi r squared, which is the area of a circle. We need to find the value r to solve this equation. To do that, since we're given some information about the arc length, we can use the arc length equation. So the arc length tells us that we got this, again, a fraction of the circle multiplied by 2 pi r. This should give us the arc length, which is 7.2. So this is the equation required to find the arc length. Now all you have to do is manipulate this. So let's multiply this out. So 75 over 360 times 2 pi r equals 7.2. So just quickly rearranging this, and they want this answer in decimal, so you can do the pi. R is going to be, of course, 7.2 divided by all of these guys, which is 75 over 360 times 2 pi. And we leave the r alone, yeah? When you do this, what do you get? 7.2 times 360. So I'm calculating this too. Okay, so I got about an R of 5.50039. Okay, so I guess you could leave your answer in this form, and then, but remember, keep your answer in the calculator as answer, yeah? And then using this equation here to find area of a sector, just plug in the R value here. So copy this equation in your calculator, replace R with your answer, yeah? So you should put 75 over 360 times pi bracket on, oops, bear me a second, 360 times pi times answer squared. And you should get 19.8, that's what I got. Equals 19.8 centimeter squared. Okay, here we are, my favorite kind of question. So 23, solving the simultaneous pair. Okay, I love this. The whole idea, and this is worth for 6 marks, so you guys have to get this. So the main idea is to always make in this case y the subject, plug it back into this equation and solve the quadratic. So what do we have? So using the second equation, let's subtract this equation by 2x. So we're going to get y equals 8 minus 2x. This tells us that the value of y is 8 minus 2x, and this can go directly into the y squared component. So replacing y with this, we now have x squared plus bracket 8 minus 2x all squared. So this was the original y equals 52. That's it. Now just solve this up. So expanding this bracket, so what do you have? So the first time we have x squared. Multiplying this out, remember we've got 2 pairs of brackets. So to use the FOIL, you're going to have 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times minus 2x is minus 16x. You're going to get another minus 16x, or minus 32x, plus 4x squared. And this must be 52. Now, I want you to rewrite all this equation and equal this to 0. So subtracting 52 across and tidying this up, x squared and 4x squared gives us a 5x squared minus 32x. 64 take away 52 is plus 12, and this should equal 0. Not bad, not bad. Now let's attempt. Okay, so now let's work this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and factorize this. You could use a quadratic formula, but I think I've got it. So if you're gonna factorize it, do it like this. Always try 5x and x first, because I don't think you can do anything else. Now, how do we get 12? To get 12, you need to either, two numbers multiplied to get 12, you need either 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and that's it. And one of them needs to multiply 5 to get a difference of 32. So if I chose to times 6 by 5, we'll get 30, and we'll get 2, so we have a difference of 32. That means 5 times 6 must occur here, and 2 must occur there. And that's it. And to get this negative, we must get minus 30 minus 2. And that's it, guys. This means that 5x equals 2, or x equals 2/5. And x equals 6. Alright, not bad. So that's easily done. Now all we want to do is plug these x values back into your original y equation, which is up here. So copying this down, y equals 8 minus 2x. Oh man, why is it doing that again? Y equals 8 minus 2x. So when you plug in the first x value, you should get, into this equation, you should get, let me just put that in, 8 minus 2 times 2/5. I got y equals 36 over 5. And if I did the same thing, if I plug this into this equation, I should get minus 4. That's it, guys. So your pairs of equations would be 2/5 with 36/5 and 6 with negative 4. All right, let's go to the last one. Okay, 24. What a nice way to wrap up the paper by doing probability. So diagram shows 3 boxes containing beads. You've got A, B, and C. You can see there's white and black beads in each one. Each box contains 3 black beads and 6 white beads. Okay, we should just copy and paste them. Tim takes at random a bead from box A and puts it in B. He then takes a random B and puts C. Man, can't he do something else in his free time? Fine, he takes a box from C and puts it back in A. So he's just taking one each, and in the end you'll have your 9 Bs remain in each one. So calculate the probability that there are still 3 black Bs and 6 white Bs in each of the 3 boxes. Now we just got to think about this. The only way this can occur if you took the same color bead on the first time, then took the same color bead across in the next round. That's the only way it can work. Or if you took one white here, then you could take also a black here, but then you need to put the white. Nah, that doesn't work. So it looks like you just have to put the same colors, I believe. This is 3 marks, so I'm guessing it's not that deep. So my methodology would be this. The only way to get all the colors back is that you need to firstly take a black in the first one, take a black in the second one, and put the black back in. You could also take a white in the first one, take a white in the second one, and put the white back in. I can't really see there being any other combinations, but I could be wrong. So let's have a go. So probability you got black, take a black over here in the first one would be, of course, 3 times. Now since the black is in the second, you got 4 blacks and you got 6 whites. So now it's going to be 4 times. And again, it will be 4 times again. And of course, the whites is going to be similar, except it will be 6 times so you have originally. And because now you move the white here, you're going to have 7 whites with 10 Bs. And again, moving the white across, you can have 7 Bs with 10. And that's it. Now all you have to do is calculate its probabilities and then sum them up. So calculating this one, I'm just going to do it roughly. 3 times 4 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16 times 3. Oh, I should be able to do this mentally. It should be 48, I believe. Over 10 times 10 is 100, 900. So that's 48. And this one, 6 times 7 times 7 should give us... I'm not exactly I'm using a calculator. So 294 over 900. And then you just add up these 2 B's. So add them up will give you your total. Plus 48. Oh, no. Wrong value. Plus 294 divided by 900. So adding this up and thankfully my calculator simplified it, you should get 19 over 50. I mean, if there's any other combinations, then the probability would be a bit higher. But I think that's really all the combinations you can do. You can't take a white and then a black and a white because they won't be the same amount. But yeah, I believe that's it. And other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Wait, is there any other questions? No. So yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching. I hope this video helped, and let me know if you got any other papers you want to go through. I'm gonna go ahead and do the next set anyway, and yeah, just let me know. Please give me feedback, give me comments, let me know what I could improve on and what you'd like to see in the upcoming videos. I also got other videos. If you want more practice, I got daily math series. Check out my channel, and you should scroll down a bit and you should find the daily math section right over there. But yeah, other than that, I shall see you guys next time, and thank you for watching. So take care and ciao.